गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपित्तजम्बूफलचारुभक्षणम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारकं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजम्। सरस्वती महाभागे विद्ये कमललोचने विद्यारूपे विशालाक्षि विद्यां देहि नमोऽस्तु ते। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीमष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्बा त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदीकैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथासम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। गीताशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णोः पदमवाप्नोति भयशोकविवर्जितः। गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्भसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनम् गीतासु गीता कर्तव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिसृता भारतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्राद्विनिसृतं गीता गङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकीपुत्रगीतमेको देवो देवकीपुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिः ध्रुवानीतिर्मतिर्मम। यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवनारायण नमोऽस्तु ते। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। महापापादिपापानि गीताध्ययनं करोति चेत् क्वचित् स्पर्शं न कुर्वन्ति नलिनीदलम् अम्बुवत्। गीतायाः पुस्तकं यत्र यत्र पाठः प्रवर्तते तत्र सर्वाणि तीर्थानि प्रयागादीनि तत्र वै। यत्र गीताविचारश्च पठनं पाठनं श्रुतं तत्र अहं निश्चितं पृथ्वीं निवसामि सदैव हि। चिदानन्देन कृष्णेन प्रोक्ता स्वमुखतोऽर्जुन वेदत्रयी परानन्दा तत्त्वार्थज्ञानसंयुता। अष्टादश जपेन्नित्यं नरो निश्चलमानसः ज्ञानसिद्धिं स लभते ततो याति परं पदम्। गीतार्थं ध्यायते नित्यं कृत्वा कर्माणि भूरिशः जीवन्मुक्तः स विज्ञेयो देहान्ते परमं पदम्। मन्दारगन्धसंयुक्तं चारुहासं चतुर्भुजं बर्हि पिच्छावचूडाङ्गं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रुक्मिणीकेलिसंयुक्तं पीताम्बरसुशोभितम् अवाप्ततुलसीगन्धं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। उत्फुल्लपद्मपत्राक्षं नीलजीमूतसन्निभं यादवानां शिरोरत्नं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। अस्तु. So we have to start the 9th shloka in the 4th adhyaya, page number 202. Alivelu Bagini.
भगिनी जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यमेवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुन। जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यः वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म न इति माम् इति सः अर्जुन। माम् एति सः अर्जुन। जन्म जन्म नकारान्त पुंलिंग प्रथमा एकवचनं कर्म नकारान्त पुंलिंग प्रथमा एकवचनं अव्ययम्।
1 minute. So नपुंसकलिङ्गं द्वौ अपि जन्म कर्म द्वौ अपि नपुंसकलिङ्गम्। अतः प्रथमा विभक्ति वा द्वितीया विभक्ति वा
विभक्ति भवति। जन्म कर्म च द्वितीया विभक्ति। जन्म नकारान्त नपुंसकलिंग द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं कर्मन् नकारान्त पुंलिंग क्षम्यतां नपुंसकलिंग प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं च अव्ययं मे मे अस्मत् शब्दस्य षष्ठी एकवचनं दिव्यं दिव्यं पुंलिंग अकारान्त पुंलिंग द्वितीया एकवचनं एवम् अव्ययं यः यः पुंलिंग प्रथमा एकवचनं सर्वनामं
यद्
शब्दस्य दकारान्त पुंलिंग वेत्ति विद् धातुः प्रथमा पुरुषा एकवचनं लट्लकारं तत्त्वतः तत्त्वतः अकारान्त पुंलिंगं वा नपुंसकलिंगं न जानामि प्रथमा
अव्ययम्
एकवचनम्
अव्ययम्
अव्ययमेना ओके अव्ययम् त्यक्त्वा त्यज्धातु कान्तम् देहं नपुंसकलिंग एकवचनं
द्वितीया विभक्ति देहं त्यक्त्वा सो
देहं त्यक्त्वा त्यक्त्वा के ओके देहं न पुनर्जन्म पुनर्जन्म पुनर्जन्मन्
पुनः जन्म
विभक्ति एकवचनं
पुनः जन्म पदविभागं
पुनः जन्म विसर्गस्य रेफः
सो पुनः अव्ययं
जन्म नपुंसकलिंग पुनः अव्ययं नपुंसकलिंग
द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं
द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं न एति न अव्ययम् एति एति అంటే ప్రథమ పురుష ఏకవచనం
ఈ ధాతు ఇన్ ధాతోః
ఈ ధాతు ప్రథమ పురుష ఏకవచనం నా ఏతి మాం మాం अस्मत् शब्दस्य द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं सः तत्शब्दस्य मां एति ई धातुः प्रथमपुरुष एकवचनं सः तत्शब्दस्य सर्वनाम प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनम् अर्जुन पुंलिंग संबोधना एकवचनं
अस्तु
तमेव
पठतु
पदार्थः अर्जुन हे अर्जुन यः पुरुषः मे मम दिव्यम् अलौकिकं जन्म जननं कर्म च क्रियां च तत्त्वतः यदार्थं वेत्ति जानाति सः पुरुषः देहं शरीरं त्यक्त्वा विसृज्य पुनर्जन्म न एति न प्राप्नोति माम् एति लभते अन्वयः अर्जुन यः मे दिव्यं जन्म कर्म च तत्त्वतः वेत्ति सः देहं त्यक्त्वा पुनर्जन्म न एति माम् एति आकांक्षा वेत्ति किं वेत्ति जन्म कर्म च वेत्ति कीदृशं जन्म कर्म च वेत्ति दिव्यं जन्म कर्म च वेत्ति दिव्यं कस्य जन्म कर्म च वेत्ति दिव्यं मे जन्म कर्म च वेत्ति दिव्यं मे जन्म कर्म च कथं वेत्ति दिव्यं मे जन्म कर्म च तत्त्वतः वेत्ति यः दिव्यं मे जन्म कर्म च तत्त्वतः वेत्ति तस्य किं भवति यः दिव्यं मे जन्म कर्म च तत्त्वतः वेत्ति सः न एति यः दिव्यं मे जन्म कर्म च तत्त्वतः वेत्ति सः किं न एति यः दिव्यं मे जन्म कर्म च तत्त्वतः वेत्ति सः पुनर्जन्म न एति यः दिव्यं मे जन्म कर्म च तत्त्वतः वेत्ति सः किं कृत्वा पुनर्जन्म न एति यः दिव्यं मे जन्म कर्म च तत्त्वतः वेत्ति सः त्यक्त्वा पुनर्जन्म न एति यः दिव्यं मे जन्म कर्म च तत्त्वतः वेत्ति सः कं त्यक्त्वा पुनर्जन्म न एति यः दिव्यं मे जन्म कर्म च तत्त्वतः वेत्ति सः देहं त्यक्त्वा पुनर्जन्म न एति यः दिव्यं मे जन्म कर्म च तत्त्वतः वेत्ति सः देहं त्यक्त्वा पुनर्जन्म एति कं पुनः एति यः दिव्यं मे जन्म कर्म च तत्त्वतः वेत्ति सः देहं त्यक्त्वा पुनर्जन्म न एति प्रत्युत माम् एति भगिनी पायिन पुनर्जन्म न एति I think this is
पुनर्जन्म न एति
अस्मिन् श्लोके सम्बोधनपदं किम् अर्जुन तात्पर्यं हे अर्जुन मम एतत् जन्म कर्म च अलौकिकमिति यः पुरुषः यदार्थं जानाति सः शरीरत्यागे सति पुनर्जन्म नाप्नोति प्रत्युत मामेव प्राप्नोति माध्वमतम् भगवतः प्रादुर्भावं तत्कर्म तत्सम्बन्धीतरज्ञानपूर्वकं यो वेत्ति सः मरणानन्तरं पुनर्जन्म न लभते अपि च मुक्तः सन् मां प्राप्नोति व्याकरणं सन्धिः यो वेत्ति यः वेत्ति विसर्गसन्धिः सकारः रेफः उकारः गुणः न इति न एति वृद्धिसन्धिः सोऽर्जुन सः प्लस् अर्जुन विसर्गसन्धिः सकारः रेफः उकारः गुणः पूर्वरूपं च कृदन्तः त्यक्त्वा त्यज्य क्वान्तं प्रथितान्तः दिव्यं दिव् एत् भावार्थे दिवि भवम् धन्यवाद भगिनी
धन्यवादः सो अत्र क्रियापदानि कानि
वेत्ति एति
एति द्वयं स्तः खलु
एति द्वयं
So Prathamam Vetti. Atra Kartrupadam Kim?
Vetti. Yaha.
Yaha. Yaha Vetti. Saha
Yaha
Eti.
Vetti.
So Atra Yaha Saha. Yat Tat Shabdasya Sambandha, Nitya Sambandha Asti. So Yaha Vetti. Yaha Kam Vetti. Divyam. Me Divyam Janma Karmacha. So Divyam Visheshanam to Janma. And Janma and Karma. Both are Karma Padani. Yaha Mama Janma Karma Cha Vetti. Katham Vetti Tatvataha means in its originality. He who knows my Janma and the karmas that I do in their originality, ante in that Tattva Chintana. He who knows that Saha Deham Tyaktva Punaha Janma na eti. So Saha na eti. That is the second sentence. Saha kam na eti, Janma na eti. So Janma will be the karma padam to eti in the second part of the sentence. And Tyaktva, Kim Kritva Tyaktva, Kam Tyaktva Deham Tyaktva. So Deham will be the karma padam to Tyaktva. Deham will be the karma padam to Tyaktva. So in the first sentence, Vetti is the Kriya padam, Yaha is the Kartru padam, Janma and Karma will be the karma padani to Vetti, Divyam will be Visheshana to Janma, Me will be the Shashti Sambandha to Janma, Me Janma means Mama Janma. And then Tattvataha Kriya Visheshanam, Evam also will be Kriya Visheshanam. Evam will be Kriya Visheshanam. So that is the first part of the sentence. In the second part, Saha eti. So Saha is the Kartrupadam to eti. Saha kam eti Janma. So Janma will be Karma Padam. Kim Kritva Tyaktva. Tyaktva will be Purvakala. Kam or Kim Tyaktva Deham Tyaktva. So Deham is Karma Padam to Tyaktva. Punaha will be Kriya Visheshanam. Punaha na veti. Punaha na eti. Arjuna is Sambodhana. And the third Kriya Padam again is eti, mam eti. So mam will be the Karma Padam to eti. Kaha mam eti saha. The same person who is being referred to in the first two sentences. Saha eva mam eti. So he who understands my Divyam Janma, my karma, in its originality, completely, in the philosophical way, he, after leaving his body, will not be born again. Janma. Punaha janma na eti. So then what will happen to that soul? What will happen to that Atma? So he will not be reborn. So where will that Atma go? Mam eti. He will come to me. Okay, so that is the meaning here of this shloka. So here tattvataha. So divyam janma. So here what needs to be understood is why the avatars of the Paramatma. So mama divyam janma karmacha. So we have to understand that. Why? Because there are so many questions to us. How can one perform the karma and not be attached to it? Or how can we not have this phalakanksha? All these, if we see, if we understand how the Paramatma is also doing. Now he is also taking so many avatars. But the way he is being born again and again into this world and how we are being born into this world are totally different. We are being born because of our karmas, whether good karmas or bad karmas. Again, to reap the results of those, we are being born again and again. But Paramatma is also taking so many rebirths into this world. So how is he taking the rebirth? Is it because of the karmas that he is doing? No, it is not because of the karmas, because he does not do any karmas and whatever, but he is doing karmas, he is killing the asuras, he is taking care of his bhaktas. So all these are also karmas. No, those karmas are different from the karmas that what we do. Again, why? Because we are doing the karmas with phalakanksha. That is the reason why we are still being attached to the karmas. That is the reason why we are again being born. But whereas he is not at all attached to the karmas that he is doing, or he does not have any kind of phalakanksha. The karmas that he is doing are only for the benefit of the mankind, of this prapancha. So his karmas are different from the karmas that we do. That is what we need to understand. Tattvataha mama janma karmacha yaha vetti. Okay, he who understands that completely in the philosophical way, in the tattva, what tattva is involved in my janmas and in my karmas, he who understands that completely will not have punarjanma. Why? Because he will also understand how to perform the karmas without attachment. So once we understand how Paramatma is performing his karmas without any kind of attachment, without any kind of emotions attached to that, he is performing his karmas. And what are his karmas? To take care of the people who are following the dharma, Shishta Rakshana. So Dushta Sikshana. And how is he is punishing others. So that is the reason why is he punishing, not out of hate or not out of jealousy or not out of anything. He is simply performing his duties as per the karmas that we are accruing. So if we are doing good, he is keeping a tab basically. So where is everything going? So how the pravachanakaras say this is, so some people, like even in a couple of classes before, somebody was asking, so whatever we do is based on the karmas that we have done in the past, right? So how can we change that? Or what is the purpose? How can we change what is happening to us? Whatever we are doing now is because of our purva janma sukritam, or whatever we have done in the previous lives. So that is the reason why we all have this desire to do certain good things. Some people have this desire to do good things. Whereas some people do not have. They are not even aware that these things can be done, or however. Right? So why is there such kind of difference? Why some people are still stuck in their ajnanam, and why? Because of the karmas that they have done in the past. That is only they are reaping. So then the question is, so if we are reaping our own karmas, if we are going as per our own karmas, whether good or bad, then why should I worship Paramatma? What is the purpose if he is not going to, if he cannot change anything? He is only giving us what we have done. If we have done good, he is blessing us. If we have done something bad, we are, also facing the result, the kashtam because of that. Then what is the purpose of Paramatma? Why should I worship him? These kind of questions come to many people. That is true. But then he is the one, even to reap our good or bad, we need somebody to keep tabs on such things and experience what is good and what is bad, right? So everybody, so here the comparison made is actually, there is a farmer. Okay, he is growing some crops. So he will till the soil, he will add manure, he will bring the seeds and he will sow it and everything. So just because he has done all these karmas, the crop, the resultant crop that he gets, will that be directly proportional to this? Sometimes, though he does all this groundwork, if there is no proper rains, the crop will be affected. And even when there are good rains, again, depending on the seeds the quality of the seeds that he sows, it will be affected, right? So if he sows good seeds, he will get good crop. Even if he sows good seeds, if there is no rain, he will not get. And where is the rain coming from? Is that in his hands? It is not there in his hands. So similarly, here also, the result will be based on what we do, good or bad. But even if we do good or even if we do bad, to be able to experience what we have done, we need Paramatma. So he is the one who will, how do you say, in simple words, he will keep tabs on what everybody is doing, and accordingly, whether they are getting what they have done. So even going through the difficulties because of the papam that we have done before is a blessing only for us. Many people think that that is hardship and we are being punished or whatever. No, we are not being punished. We are actually getting an opportunity to clear our bad karma. So many people, and that is the duty of the Shani. So many people think Shani Mahardasa, when it comes into our time, they think that we need to avoid it. They try to avoid it by doing all these Shanti Pujas and everything. Actually, we should embrace it. We should embrace and only pray that we have the strength to go through that tough times. Why? Because that time has to be dealt with sooner or later. Sooner the better, because when we are in good health, when we are in good energy and good younger age, if we take care of it, we will have the strength to overcome the difficulties, rather than when it comes to us in a later point when we are weak or not already not healthy because of old age or whatever. Rather than at that time, we should not put it off. We should embrace it, because sooner or later we have to deal with it. So we simply have to ask for the strength to put up with it. So that also is a blessing. So for us to go through it, that also we should not consider it as a bad thing. We should consider it as a good thing. So the sooner we overcome those, we can feel good about, okay, I have already paid. I have already paid for the sins that I have done. So once that is clear, it is clear. And now that we know that whatever we do only we will be reaping in the future, we can change our ways and do only the good things going forward, so that we do not accrue any more papa. So who keeps tabs on all of this is the Paramatma. And how does he do it? Without any kind of attachment. Though it appears that he has no daya towards the people who are really suffering. We see some people suffering throughout their lives, or even for part of a life, their suffering is very tough, that even we feel very sorry for them. Ayo, they are suffering so much. How can the God be so insensitive? Why is he not getting them out of their kashtam? But he is only reaping what he has done, knowingly or unknowingly. And it is so the God will have the same kind of feeling towards who have done good or who have done bad. We always have to think, to make it easily understandable, we have to think ourselves as parents. So we have more than one child, or even with one child, when they do something wrong, they will face the consequences. If they drive very fast, they will meet with an accident. So once they meet with an accident, what can we do? We can only feel sorry for them. We cannot do anything else. We cannot make it go away. Why? Because we know that because of his carelessness, he is right now in this position. We might have told them 100 times, do this, do that, be careful. But in spite of that, they choose to do something carelessly, and then they will reap the benefit. Similarly, Paramatma also, and what we can do, we will try to support him during that time to make it as less convenient as possible. So Paramatma also is doing the same thing. He has to make sure that everybody receives what they have done. Without that, that is his duty basically. So, and Divyam Janma, why is his Janma considered as Divyam? Why? Because his Janma is not because of the karmas that he has done, but he is taking these rebirths only to help the good people, only to punish the bad people. And by punishing, it is not out of hatredness or anger, it is only to give them what they have done. Because that also is being done only to change them. At least because of those difficulties, some people will change. See, I have done something wrong. That is why I am facing these difficulties. So I should not repeat this. I should mend my ways. So these hardships are also given to the people only to reform them. Only to reform them. If we go back and see the avatars of all the Rakshasas also, slowly with each avatara, they will be changing a little bit. Of course, they won't change overnight, but with every Janma, there is something more good that they are doing rather than the bad. So eventually, through the Janmas, they will change. And ultimately, when they have completely changed to the point where they are also performing their karmas without any kind of attachment, that is when they will and understands the Paramatma's tattvam. That is when they will break the cycle of birth and rebirth, and they will join with the Paramatma. Like that, there are so many examples of so many Rakshasas in our in our Puranas. We can take those as an example, see how they have changed over the Janmas, and finally how they have completely been reformed and all that. So that is why his Janma is referred to as Divyam Janma. Why? Because his Janmas are not based on the karmas that he is doing, but only for the purpose of the humans, he is taking Janma without any kind of attachment or emotions. Okay, so here when we come to Sandhi, Visarga Sandhi we have, and then Tyaktva is Swanta of Tyaj Dhatu, and Tadhitanta is Divyam, Div, Divi Bhavam. So Bhavarthe. So here Divyam means Div Dhatu is to like shine or glow or divine, in such a sense we can take. Okay, so any questions in this shloka? Okay. So the next one, Surya Bhagini.
महोदय वेतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मया मामुपाश्रिताः बहवो ज्ञानतपसाः भूताः मद्भावमागताः वेतरागभयक्रोधाः वेतरागभयक्रोधः क्रोधः प्रथमाविभक्ति एकवचनं
बहुवचनमेव वीतरागभयक्रोधाः
भयक्रोधाः बहुवचनं मन्मया
अकारान्त पुंलिङ्ग बहुवचनम्
अकारान्त पुल्लिङ्ग बहुवचनं मन्मया समासपदं वेतः रागं भयं क्रोधः మన్మయ అన్నది ఇది ఒకటే వర్డ్ అవుతుందా లేకపోతే
ఒకటే వర్డ్? యు కెన్ టేక్ ఇట్ యాజ్ అ సింగిల్ వర్డ్ మన్మయ.
మన్మయ అంటే చతుర్థి విభక్తి
మన్మయాః, యాక్చువల్లీ మన్మయాః ప్రథమా విభక్తి,
మన్మయాః ప్రథమా విభక్తి
బహువచనం.
మాం ఉపాశ్రితాః మాం అదర్ శబ్దः
अस्मत् शब्द
बहुवचनं षष्ठी विभक्ति
द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं
द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं
मम అయితే షష్ఠీ విభక్తి.
उपाश्रिताः उपसर्ग आश्रिताः आश्रिताः అంటే ఆస్ ధాతువు అవుతుంది.
శ్రీ ధాతు ఉప
శ్రీ ధాతువు అవుతుందా?
శ్రీ ధాతు ఉపశ్రితః ప్రత్యయం ఉపశ్రితాః బహువచనం
ప్రథమా విభక్తి బహువచనం. బహవః ఇది కూడా బహువచనం.
బహు శబ్ద ఉకారాంత పుంలింగ విభక్తి
బహువచనం. జ్ఞాన తపసాః
జ్ఞాన తపసా అత్ర విసర్గ నాస్తి. జ్ఞాన తపసా
జ్ఞాన తపసా తపస్సు శబ్దం అయితే
సకారాంత శబ్దం నపుంసకం
తపస్సు శబ్దం తృతీయ విభక్తి. పోతాః ఇక్కడ బహువచనం ప్రథమా విభక్తి. పోతాః అంటే
ప్రత్యయం పూ ధాతోః ప్రత్యయం
ఒక్కటే అక్షరమా? మద్భావం ఆగతాః. మత్ అంటే నా
మద్భావం
విభక్తి.
మద్భావం ఏకం పదమేవ.
ఆగతాః
ఆ ఉపసర్గ గం ధాతోః ప్రత్యయం ప్రథమా విభక్తి బహువచనం.
తాప్రత్యయాలు ఎక్కువగా ఉన్నట్టుంది. పదార్థః వేతరాగ భయక్రోధాః వినష్టరాగ భేత కోపాః మన్మయాః మత్స్వరూపాః మాం ఉపాశ్రితాః ఉపగతాః జ్ఞానతపసా సమాధినా पूताः पवित्राः बहवः असङ्ख्याकाः मद्भावं मद्रूपत्वम् आगताः सम्प्राप्ताः अन्वयः वेतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मयाः माम् उपाश्रिताः ज्ञानतपसा पूताः बहवः मद्भावम् आगताः आकाङ्क्षा आगताः कम् आगताः मद्भावम् आगताः कीदृशाः बहवः मद्भावम् आगताः वेतरागभयक्रोधाः बहवः मद्भावम् आगताः वेतरागभयक्रोधाः पुनश्च कीदृशाः बहवः मद्भावम् आगताः वेतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मयाः बहवः मद्भावम् आगताः वेतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मयाः पुनश्च कीदृशाः बहवः मद्भावम् आगताः वेतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मयाः उपाश्रिताः बहवः मद्भावम् आगताः वेतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मयाः कम् उपाश्रिताः बहवः मद्भावम् आगताः वेतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मयाः माम् उपाश्रिताः बहवः मद्भावम् आगताः वेतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मयाः माम् उपाश्रिताः पुनश्च कीदृशाः बहवः मद्भावम् आगताः वेतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मयाः माम् उपाश्रिताः पूताः बहवः मद्भावम् आगताः वेतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मयाः माम् उपाश्रिताः केन पूताः बहवः मद्भावम् आगताः वेतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मयाः माम् उपाश्रिताः ज्ञानतपसा पूताः बहवः मद्भावम् आगताः तात्पर्यम् आसक्तिं भयं क्रोधं च विना अनन्यभावनया मयि विश्वस्ताः मां च शरणमागताः ज्ञानरूपेण तपसा पवित्राः असङ्ख्याकाः मम स्वरूपं प्राप्तवन्तः माध्वमतं रागभयादि वर्जिताः ज्ञानिनः भगवन्तं सर्वोत्तमं सर्वान्तर्यामिणं च मन्वानाः तं शरणं मताः सायुज्यरूपमोक्षं भजन्ति
क्रियापदानि क्रियापदम्
आगताः
आगताः. So that is the kriyapadam. So kartrupadam kim?
वेतरागभयक्रोधाः.
Vitaraga. So what is the meaning here? Vitaraga bhayakrodhaha manmayaha mam upashritaha jnanatapasa putaha bahavaha madbhavam agataha. So madbhavam means madrupatvam. So here asaktim bhayam krodham cha vina ananya bhavanaya mayi vishwastaha mam cha sharanamagataha jnanarupena tapasa pavitraha asankhyaakaha mama swarupam praptavantaha. So mama swarupam madbhavam agataha. So madbhavam will be the karma padam. Madbhavam will be the karma padam. So ke madbhavam agataha putaha madbhavam agataha. Kidrishaha putaha ante those who have become purified. Purified by what? Purified jnana tapasa. Jnana tapasa putaha. Those who have purified themselves with jnana tapasa, not any kind of tapas. Jnana tapas means they have to perform their duties knowing the tattvam of the Paramatma with the pure jnanam. That is when they will get the jnanam. Ajnanam toligipoyi jnanam ostundi. By practicing the philosophy or the tattvam that is taught by the Paramatma. So jnana tapasa, those who have purified themselves with jnana tapasa putaha Madbhavam agataha. They will understand my swarupam. Okay. And again, who will do such kind of jnana tapasa? Mam upashritaha. Those who have interested in me, or those who have nayandu sharanu korina vallu. Mam upashritaha. Okay, those who have taken refuge in me. Mam upashritaha will be the visheshana to putaha. We can take. Okay. Upashritaha putaha. Those who have taken refuge in me and those who have purified themselves with jnana tapasa, they will take my matbhavam agataha. Na swarupanni vallu తీసుకోబడతారు or ప్రాప్తి పొందుతారు. And again upashritaha. Who will take refuge in Paramatma? Vitaraga bhayakrodaha manmayaha. So manmayaha is given as matswarupaha. So how will matswarupaha means mama swarupam. Paramatma is saying who have taken my swarupam. Mama swarupam means those who have given up raga, bhaya, krodha. Those who have given up these emotions will become like me. Manmayaha. Okay, they will become like me and then they will take refuge in me and then they will purify themselves with the jnana tapasa and then they will obtain me. Ante vallu nalo kalisipotaru. Madbhavam agataha. So vitaraga bhaya krodaha. So raga is having a desire, passion towards certain things. So by giving up those, some people will experience bhayam. Bhayam అనేది ఎందుకు వస్తుంది ఎప్పుడైనా? Either when there is a danger, like when we are in the jungle and when some wild animals are attacking us, we will be afraid. అప్పుడు కూడా why are we afraid? Because of losing our life. Because we are afraid because we will be losing our life or a part of us. అది ఏ చేతినో కాలునో నరికేస్తే అది దానివల్ల. Otherwise, so putting that aside, putting the dangers aside, why will a human being be afraid? They will be afraid to do certain things because they are afraid of the future. Like say, for example, now you should not have any attachment towards the karma. You should not have any phalakanksha. So that is what we are being told. So some people have a fear of what could happen if they don't expect the result, or if the result is not in their hands. If the result is not in their hands, that is the reason why people do all these kinds of dangerous things. So say, for example, you look at a politician. So he is afraid of losing his power in the next election. So what does he do? A corrupt politician, what does he do? He will go and do some kind of fraud and to the results of the election so that he will win again. So why did he do that in the first place? Because he was afraid of losing. And why is he afraid of losing? Because if he loses, he doesn't know how to take or what to do, or whatever is he's benefiting through that election or to that position or in the power, he is afraid what might become of him. So he doesn't want to let go of that power or that position. So for that, he is prepared to do anything. So all this is because of fear of letting go, just fear of letting go. Many times in how to apply in our daily life also, we have so many beliefs, we have so many things we want to do from our own heart. We want to lead a simple life, right? But this is a very common thing seen among Telugu people mostly. So they are afraid of what others might think. A grand wedding, if I don't do a grand wedding, what will others think of me? They might think I am incapable, they might think we are poor, they might think we do not belong in their circle. This is there among many people. So only for that reason, though they believe in simplicity, though they really don't have the money to spend for the wedding, they borrow money for great high interests, and they spend lakhs and lakhs of rupees on a wedding which lasts only one day. Instead of that, what we strongly believe is invest that same money in the same whosever wedding it is, in our kids whatever they are planning to do in the future. They might want to open a business or whatever. We can invest that money in their business or in their education or in their whatever they are going to do, or in a house for them. No, but we are spending all this money overnight over one day for that wedding only because we don't want to look down upon by our friends and family. Adi bhayame kada, that is fear. We are fearing what others might think. Because of that, we are not able to do what we really want to do, or we are going beyond our means to please others. But tomorrow, when we are in difficulties or when we are in debts because of this, it is those same people who will laugh at us. They will say, when you were not, when it is beyond your capacity, why did you have to borrow money? And now you are in this position. So if we really think into the future properly, so we are not pleasing anybody, nobody, and it is not even important to please them, because tomorrow if we are in difficulty because of that, they are not going to come and help us. But that fear, to overcome that fear, it takes a lot of courage to tell them to their face, I don't want to waste money. I would rather invest it in my kids' future or in my grandkids' future, or rather, if they have enough money, donating it to somebody. We can do many things with that. But people, only because they are afraid what others might think, they are spending so much money on things that do not matter after that day. Say, like invitation cards, in decoration. We can still do it with all these. We can still print invitation cards, we can still decorate everything, but at a lower scale, a traditional way, it will cost us much less, right? And because of that fear, what if my son does not go to US? What will people think? They will think he is useless. So whether the kid is capable of going and surviving in other countries or not, they are pushing them out by, again, they are borrowing money, they are spending for their education in the US, though the kid is not incapable of getting admission in the university on by his own marks. They are again spending money and sending him out, thinking that that is the only thing that will bring him respect. So these are the different kinds of bias that people have. This is very, very relevant to our current situation, because only if we overcome such kind of feelings, we can live more peacefully without any tensions or hardships. So that is, and if when that does not happen, when all these desires that we impose upon ourselves, if we are not able to meet them, then that is when it will turn into krodha. That is when it will turn into krodha. So all these we have to let go. Only by letting go of these, we can understand the tattvam of Paramatma. We cannot, and otherwise we cannot understand Paramatma Tattva. We think that we understand, but if we are not able to apply it in our own lives, we can never understand, we can never break that cycle of rebirth, and we can never get out of it. It appears like we understand everything, but the only test that we can have is, are we able to put it in our lives? Are we able to practice it? What is being told? At least one point, if not everything in one overnight, at least one small point we should take out of these shlokas and try to practice that one at a time. And slowly we can change like that. So only those who change by understanding my tattva and then taking refuge in me. Taking refuge in us means, in Paramatma means doing everything in his name. So now today we are doing one karyam. So we should not think I have done this. We should never think I have done this. Only because I did this, that other person is benefiting or whatever. So never about that. Then we will take, whether it is praise or criticism, we can take it in the same sense. So today we have done something. We cooked some item. Some people may like it, some people may not like it. So when some people praise, we should not feel happy about it. And when some people criticize, we should not feel sad about it. And when will that happen? Only when we are taking refuge in Paramatma, and whatever we do, we put it before him only. I am doing this for you. When we have that intention, we will definitely do our best. after doing our best, if it does not come out well also, it really doesn't matter. Because when we look back, only one thing we have to think about is, did we do our best? We may be capable or we may not be capable. But within our capacity, did we do our best? As long as we did our best within our capability, we should not worry about the result. Result is always not in our hands. Like I said about the farmer, no matter what he does, if there is untimely rains, what can he do? It is not in his hands. He did everything that he could, but the rain is not in his hand. So the result is dependent on that and not in what he has done. If he did not do it, then if the product does not come out well, then he will feel bad. Arey, I did not, I felt lazy. I did not plant them on the correct time. I did not put manure in the proper time. That is why this happened. Then we have to feel bad. But as long as we have done everything within our capacity to the best of our capacity, need not go beyond our capacity also. We have to do the best within our capacity and then leave it. That is what we call as taking refuge in Paramatma. We are offering everything in his name. Then nothing will matter. Even if other people say good or bad things about what we have done, it doesn't matter. We have to do with a good intention and to the best of our capability. And then purify. That is only what is called Jnana Tapas. Jnana Tapas means whatever you do offering it to Paramatma with remembering his Tattvam and do. Whether it is Shravanam of some stotra, or whether it is recitation of any stotra, or writing or explaining the meaning of that, or whatever it is, whatever you are doing, not only that, even other things, not only stotras, any work that you do, when you are doing, understanding what you are doing clearly and doing it how it is to be done and with a pure mind, that is how you can purify yourself with Jnana Tapasa. So Jnana Tapasa means not going somewhere, sitting and meditating with closed eyes. No, that is not Jnana Tapas. Tapas always means, though that is how they show, that is how they show, but Jnana Tapas means always doing whatever you are doing with utmost Shraddha, without any akanksha for the phalam, and to the best of your capability. There you should not hide your Shakti. You should not do half-half. Whatever you do with full Shraddha and to the best of your capability, and that's it. Then we will be purified. Then our actions also will be purified. Whatever action we do, that also will be pure. So it will benefit whoever is receiving that action, the phalam of that action will also benefit because we did it with a pure mind, with a selfless mind. So they will definitely benefit. And that is how we can find a place with Paramatma. So such kind of people, madbhavam agataha. Okay, they will break this cycle of rebirth and they will come to me. So that is what this shloka means here. So here asaktim bhayam krodham cha vina ananya bhavanaya, without any other kind of bhavana, mayi vishwastaha mam cha sharanamagataha, having complete trust in me and taking refuge in me, jnana-rupena tapasa pavitraha asankhyaakaha mama swarupam praptavantaha. So, and there are many other people also. There are many other people who have already taken my swarupam by practicing these, like Janakadayaha. Okay, that example has already been given earlier. So there are so many others who are already following this path. So similarly, others also can take the same path and reach me by doing these. So this is how one can reach me. And here we have in the Sandhi, all are Visarga Sandhis. And then Vitaraga Bhayak Krodhaha. This is Dvandva Samasa. Ragaha cha Bhayancha Krodhaha cha. Raga Bhayak Krodhaha. Vitaha Raga Bhayak Krodhaha. Vitaha means without, leaving. So this is Bahuvrihi. So those who have left out this Raga Bhaya Krodhaha te. So Bahuvrihi. Jnana Tapasa. Jnanameva Tapaha. That is Karmadharaya. And the Tritiya Vibhakti of that. Tena. Jnanameva Tapaha. So Sambhavana Purvapada, is it Avadharana Purvapada Karmadharaya Samasa? Avadharana Purvapada Karmadharaya Samasa. Madbhavam, Mama Bhavaha, Tam, Shashti Tatpurushaha. Okay, Mama Bhavaha. And in Kridantaha, we have Upashritaha. Upa, A, Upasargaha, Shri Dhatu, Kta Pratyayam, Putaha, Pu Dhatoho, Kta. Pu Dhato means to purify or to cleanse. Bhavaha, Bhu Dhatoho, and Pratyayam, Agataha. A Upasarga, Gam Dhatu, Kta Pratyaya. Okay, any questions here?
Atra Mahoday.
Am Mahoday.
पवित्राः असंख्यकाः मम स्वरूपं प्राप्तवन्तः इति उक्तं किल ते सर्वे भगवत् स्वरूपं न प्राप्नुवन्ति
किं महोदय ते
असंख्यकाः मम स्वरूपं प्राप्तवन्तः इति तात्पर्यमस्ति किल
असंख्याः मम स्वरूपं प्राप्तवन्तः इत्युक्ते there are so many people who have already obtained and who have joined with me like Janakadayah by following this we have studied in the previous shlokas in the previous chapter that there are people who have attained siddhi. They are still in the world doing the karmas like Janakadayah, Janaka Maharaja and others. There are others like Janaka Maharaja. They have already attained siddhi. But there are some people who have attained siddhi. Once they attain siddhi means what does it mean? Attaining siddhi means Paramatmalo joining in the Paramatma, Aikyam Aipavadam. Joining the Paramatma means they join with the Paramatma. They are no longer existing on this earth for people like us to see. But then there are some people who even after attaining siddhi have chosen to still live on this earth doing their karmas. Why? That we discussed in the previous adhyaya. Why? Because we need some people to set as an example for people like us to see how to attain, how to do karmas without any kind of phalakanksha. Because everything exemplary, when we see it as an example, it will be easy for people to understand, right? Theory, how much ever you tell, only when you see practically, we will be able to understand certain things. So, and there are so many people at different levels of spirituality, it will be difficult for them to understand how to do karmas without phalakanksha. Why are we even doing karmas if we should not expect the phalakanksha? What is the purpose of doing the karmas without phalakanksha? Such kinds of doubts come to people. So to set an example for such people, we have all these people who have already attained siddhi. They can go and join with the Paramatma, but they chose to stay here. Why? Because it is the responsibility of the Satpurusha. That also was given in the previous adhyaya. We discussed that. See, one who have attained spirituality and that kind of knowledge, it is not enough if they think, I have already attained jnanam. Okay, so I will go forward in my path. No, they have to stay back and guide the people who are behind them, who are still struggling to understand what is it to obtain the pure jnanam, how to understand Paramatma Tattvam. That is the reason why we have all these big gurus or the rishis who are preaching, people that are following in the succession. Because it is the responsibility, like how we take the responsibility of making our children understand what is right, what is wrong, how to behave, how to deal with a difficult situation. Why are we doing all that? Because they are still at a place where they are unable to figure it out by themselves. So we show that as an example, not only by telling, if you keep telling your children all this, but you are not practicing it, do you think your children will do what you are teaching them? They will do only what you are doing. They will do only what you are doing. They will not listen or pay attention to simply what you are teaching them. They will observe what you are doing and then very easily they will fall into place. They will very easily practice what you want them to do. So we as humans always need somebody who is practically doing that in front of us so we can understand easily and also follow in the same footsteps. So similarly here also, Paramatma is telling the same thing. There are so many, asankhyaakaha, means there are so many, innumerable number of people, such pavitraha, who have already attained siddhi, and who are ready to join. They are capable of joining him, but some of them are left on the earth for people like us to see and learn. The Ramavataram purpose is also the same. Very easily, Vishnu can put an end to Ravana. He doesn't even have to take an avatara like Rama and come into this world and do all this, go through these hardships and all. Why did he go through? He through the Rama avatara, he wanted to set an example of a good son, of a good husband, of a good brother, of a good king, of a good everything. Like how a human should be. So only to set an example. So he did not use any of his powers of the Vishnu, like in Krishna Avatara. In Krishna Avatara, that is needed. Why? Because the world in that yuga is much more difficult to deal with. That is why Krishna had to do a few things, a little bit more manipulation. He had to do a little bit more than what he was in Ramavatara. Why? Because with the yuga change, the people also have changed. There is more injustice going there. So he had to do it a little differently. In every avatara, if you see, it is being done a little differently based on how that yugam is there and how the people and how much of adharma is there. Based on that, he is doing. So as per the situation demands, that is how he had to deal with it. So, but the purpose of these Shreshtaha, or the people who have already attained Siddhi, the purpose of them is to set an example to the rest of the mankind. Even within our communities, within our family also, we see that. We see that some elderly people always set an example by doing the right things. They get involved in the small arguments that other people are doing. They try to come in between and tell, no, this is not right. This is how it should be. What need do they have? Do they have any need? They have that kind of maturity to follow their own spiritual path. They don't have to come and talk to people or children who are behaving immaturely. They don't need to do that, but they are doing. Why? Because it is their responsibility. So in the previous adhyaya, there are a couple of shlokas which say that it is the responsibility of every Satpurusha to not only follow your path, but also set an example to the people who are still struggling to find that path. So for that reason, Paramatma is saying there are so many already there who are in this path and who have already attained Siddhi, but you can, and who are, whatever he's preaching in the same path. So you can also follow them. We can also take them as an example to understand. Even to Arjuna also, he says the same thing. So you should set an example to every Kshatriya. Okay, people will not understand why you don't want to fight unless because your thinking is different. You don't want to kill your own people. That is fine. That is fine. But as a Kshatriya, you have to put that aside. This is your duty. You should not be tied up with the attachment. So the same problem comes in our family also. We have kids. So sometimes they fight among themselves. So how are we going to tell? Both of them are equal to us. So how are we going? Where there is injustice to that person, to that kid only, we have to tell. See, what you are doing is wrong. You cannot do this. You cannot be so greedy. You cannot take advantage of your sibling. So it is our responsibility to set an example. And how do we set an example? By how we are behaving with our siblings. They will take that example. We also have to show justice among our siblings. We should not let them take advantage of us. Similarly, we also should not take advantage of our siblings or our parents. That is what our kids will learn. So that setting an example is also equally important responsibility of every human. We cannot simply follow our own path and say, I understood everything, I have attained my jnanam, I will just go and do. No, not for everybody. So we have to, some of us have to take that responsibility of setting an example to the people who are struggling to understand that. Okay. Any other questions? Sri Lakshmi Bagini?
आं भगिनि ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां तान् वा भगिनि तान् तथैव
तथा एव
अदि पर्याप्त
तथैव
सर्वे
also
कथम् आगतवन्तः
एकं निमिषं तान् तथा एव अत्र पदविभागं तत् तान् अక్కడ अनुस्वारं we have this sandhi which we studied one time sattva sandhi and anuswaram will come as adeshena agachati anuswaram. That is sattva sandhilo oka kind. It is a kind of sattva sandhi that we studied during sandhis.
अस्तु भगिनि तान् तथा एव भजामि अहं मम वर्त्म अनुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः
पदपरिचयम्
ये इति प्रथम बहुवचनरूपं वा पुल्लिङ्गः
यद् शब्दस्य प्रथम बहुवचनं
यद् शब्दस्य सर्वनामः पुल्लिङ्गपदं प्रथम बहुवचनं यथा अव्ययं माम् इति द्वितीय त्रिलिङ्गकः तत् शब्दस्य त्रिलिङ्गकः वा
यदि माम्
अस्मत् शब्दः
द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं
द्वितीय एकवचनं प्रपद्यन्ते इति लट्लकारः वा प्र उपसर्ग पद् धातोः प्रथमपुरुष बहुवचनरूपम् आत्मनेपदी तान् इत्यपि द्वितीय बहुवचनरूपं पुल्लिङ्ग तद् शब्दः तथा अव्ययम् एव अव्ययं भजामि उत्तमपुरुष भज् धातोः प्रथमपुरुष उत्तमपुरुष एकवचनम् अहमपि उत्तमपुरुष एकवचनं लट्लकारः
अस्मत्
शब्दः क्षम्यताम् अस्मत् शब्दस्य प्रथम एकवचनं मम इति षष्ठी एकवचनरूपम् अस्मत् शब्दस्य वर्त्मा इति अहं न जानामि भगिनि
वर्त्मन् नकारान्त नपुंसकलिङ्ग द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनम्
अस्तु वर्त्मन् शब्दः नकारान्तः पुल्लिङ्गः वा नपुंसकम् अस्तु
द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं वर्त्मा इत्युक्ते मार्गं मम मार्गम् अनुवर्तन्ते दोस् हू फालो मै पात्
ओके अनुवर्तन्ते इति अनु उपसर्ग वृत् धातुः लट्लकारः प्रथमपुरुष बहुवचनरूपं मनुष्याः इति पुल्लिङ्ग अकारान्त पुल्लिङ्गः प्रथम बहुवचनरूपं पार्थ सम्बोधन सर्वशः इति अहं न जानामि भगिनि
सर्वशः also you can take it as one second सर्वशः take it as अव्ययम्
अस्तु अव्ययं पदार्थः पार्थ अर्जुन ये मानवाः मां यथा येन प्रकारेण प्रपद्यन्ते सेवन्ते तथा एव तेन एव प्रकारेण तान् मानवान् अहं भजामि अनुगृह्णामि इत्यर्थे अनुगृह्णामि वा
అంటే భజామి ఇత్యుక్తే టు ప్రైజ్ టు వర్షిప్ ఇన్ దట్ సెన్స్ భజామి యా
ఇక్కడ భగవంతుడు చెప్తున్నాడు అనమాట, అందుకని నేను అనుగ్రహిస్తున్నాను అని అనుకోవాలి. అస్తు.
Anugrahnami. Yes.
మనుష్యాః మనుజాః సర్వశః సర్వథా మమ మే వర్త్మ మార్గం అనువర్తంతే అనుసరంతి. అన్వయః పార్థ ఏ మాం యథా ప్రపద్యంతే తథా ఏవ తాన్ అహం భజామి. మనుష్యాః సర్వశః మమ వర్త్మ అనువర్తంతే. ఆకాంక్ష. ప్రపద్యంతే క్రియాపదం. కం ప్రపద్యంతే? మాం ప్రపద్యంతే. ఏ యథా మాం ప్రపద్యంతే తథా తేషాం కిం భవతి? ఏ యథా మాం ప్రపద్యంతే తాన్ తథా అహం భజామి. అనువర్తంతే అపరం క్రియాపదం. కిం అనువర్తంతే? వర్త్మ అనువర్తంతే. కస్య వర్త్మ అనువర్తంతే? మమ వర్త్మ అనువర్తంతే. కథం మమ వర్త్మ అనువర్తంతే? సర్వశః మమ వర్త్మ అనువర్తంతే. కే సర్వశః మమ వర్త్మ అనువర్తంతే? మనుష్యాః సర్వశః మమ వర్త్మ అనువర్తంతే. అస్మిన్ శ్లోకే సంబోధన పదం కిం? పార్థ. తాత్పర్యం. పార్థ ఏ మాం యథా భజంతి తాన్ అహం తథా ఏవ అనుగృహ్ణామి. ఏతత్ రహస్యం జ్ఞాత్వా బుద్ధిమాన్ మనుష్య సమూహః సర్వ ప్రకారేణ మమ మార్గమనుసృత్య చలతి. మాధ్వమతం. మోక్షరూప ఫలదానేన జ్ఞానినః స్వర్గాది ఫలదానేన తదితరాన్ చ అహం భజామి నతు గుణభావేన. దేవతాంతరాణాం ఆరాధనా నిమిత్తేన మత్ పూజైవ క్రియతే. తస్మాత్ సర్వ ప్రకారేణ మనుష్యాః మమ వర్త్మ అనువర్తంతే.
ఆరాధన నిమిత్తేన. आं भगिनि. व्याकरणम् अपि पठतु.
सन्धिः. तंस्तथैव. तान् प्लस् तथैव सत्वसन्धि रेफः विसर्गः अनुस्वारः सकारश्च. भजाम्यहं. भजामि प्लस् अहं यणसन्धि. तथैव तथा एव वृद्धिसन्धि. वर्त्मानुवर्तते. वर्त्मा अनुवर्तते सवर्णदीर्घसन्धिः. तद्धितान्तः मनुष्याः. मनु शुक् प्लस यत् अपत्यार्थे मनोः अपत्यानि पुंसाः पुमांसः.
तो अत्र क्रियापदानि कानि?
प्रपद्यन्ते अनुवर्तन्ते.
भजामि अपि.
भजामि अपि.
तो प्रपद्यन्ते. तो अत्र कर्तृपदं किम्?
ये प्रपद्यन्ते.
ये प्रपद्यन्ते. कर्मपदं किम्?
माम्.
ये मां प्रपद्यन्ते पार्थ. Those who take refuge in me. Okay, take refuge in me or serve me or have devotion in me. Prapadyante, you can take it as anything. Take refuge in me. ఎవరైతే నన్ను శరణు కోరుతారో, ఏ మాం ప్రపద్యంతే తాన్ అహం భజామి. ఓకే, కథం? యథా యథా మాం ప్రపద్యంతే తథా అహం భజామి. లైక్ however they serve me, in that same way I will also bless them. I will also bless them or give whatever they need. So here by this shloka, what is being primarily told is, here if you look at the tatparyam also, ye mam yatha bhajanti tanaham tatha eva anugrihnami. Etat rahasyam jnatva buddhiman manushya samuhah sarva prakarena mama margam anusritya chalati. So here basically we do a lot of pujas or rituals. And why do they do that? For certain result. Like say for example, Dasharatha Maharaja has done a yagam for to obtain children, and he was given blessed with children. So similarly, there are many kings who have done many yagas for many things for a purpose. So accordingly they were given all those. Why did the kings do that? For the benefit of the people, for the benefit of the kingdom. like to have some rains when there is drought, to get some rains, they used to do some yagas. And having children also is not their personal desire. It is the responsibility of a king to produce a successor. That is also his duty as a king. So most of the kings who are especially good kings, like from the Raghuvamsha, they all have done or born children or bore children only for the kingdom. It is not for their own personal pleasure or personal needs. More than anything, it was their duty to produce successors. So if any king had any problem, or because of their deeds in the past, and they are unable to bear a successor, they again did yagas to nullify whatever actions they have done in the past and have kids in the future. So Dilipa Maharaja was one such example. He did not have kids because of something that he did unknowingly, but then he rectified that to have a successor. So many times people do. That is the case of the kings. Even regular people also, they will be doing some rituals, some yagas and pujas for a particular purpose. So that will be given. And for that purpose, there will be many gods that people will be worshipping. Not always the Paramatma. There will be other gods like Ganesha or Saraswati or Shiva or, other forms of the Paramatma. They will worship to get some benefit out of that. All those also, though all these forms are again from the Paramatma himself, when we are doing this particular puja, we think of only Saraswati as a separate entity, right? Many times that is what happens with most of us. We look at that entity as a separate entity and we worship that. What Paramatma is saying, however you worship, you look at a different form and think that that is the form that is going to grant you whatever you need, and you are performing. That is also being granted. But on the backside, it is me only who is granting all that. It is not that Saraswati herself is granting. Behind Saraswati, again, there is this one unique or universal power, or this Paramatma that is doing. So, yatha ye mam prapadyante, though they think that they are requesting some other god like Ganesha or Saraswati or Shiva or somebody else, indirectly it all comes to me only. So however you are asking, that only is being given to you. Okay? Tanaham bhajami. To those people I am giving whatever they need. So finally, that is what everybody needs to understand. It is not those individual things or individual shaktis that you are praying to, and it is not those individual shaktis that are granting you what you need. Ultimately, or behind those individual deities, it is I who am there. And if you, that rahasyam, whoever understands and follow, take up my path, they will reach. Why? Say, for example, why is he saying that instead of the individual deities, you all have to understand that it is me who is there behind them and follow my path? If you want to break your rebirth cycle, if you are praying to Goddess Lakshmi and asking for some benefit, right? It will be granted, because yatha ye mam prapadyante, however you request, that will be given to you. So I will give you. You are asking Goddess Lakshmi, I want some profit in my business. That will be given to you. Okay. You will ask for something else, some other god. You will pray to Anjaneya for some strength. You will be given that. You will ask somebody else. That will be given. But then what happens? So this year you prayed to Goddess Lakshmi for some profits in your business and you are blessed with it. So then what happens? Okay, I have so much profit this year. So next year I am going to increase my business. So you will increase your business and again you will need more profits, or to spread into more shops or into more districts. Like this, that desire will keep going one by one. You got one promotion. Next year you want another promotion. So here you are stuck because of these desires. With one desire being satisfied, that also we have studied in the previous adhyaya, a desire can never be satisfied. It is like Agni. The more you put, the more firewood you add to it, the more ghritam you add to it, the more big it becomes. So again, you have to keep adding. As long as you add, the fire is growing. It is not diminishing. So desire is like that. The more you please it, the more it grows, and you will have that more and more desires. So whatever you are offering to these deities and you are asking, you are getting. Yatha prapadyante tatha eva aham bhajami. Kintu, but if you want to break this, so where are you going with all these desires? Today you have this promotion, tomorrow you want another promotion, day after tomorrow you want another. Once you retire, you want that job for your son, and then you want his promotion, and then like this desires are continuously growing, continuing. Where are you stopping? You are not stopping. So that is why, for those who want to break this rebirth cycle, because in that sense, we should not have desire. We should not expect any phalakanksha. All these other rituals that you are performing is with a phalakanksha. You have an expectation. That is the reason why you are doing all this. So as long as you want that, as long as you want to be on that path, that is fine. How much ever you ask, that much ever I am providing to you based on your karmas. Based on your karmas, it will be granted to you. But if you want to break this cycle and go beyond this and reach me, then it is, you have to understand my path. What my path is, how to come on to my path, to put aside these desires. No phalakanksha. Do everything with a good heart. Do everything with shraddha. That is my path. So you have to come on to my path to reach me. You cannot keep doing all these rituals with the desire in your heart and wanting to reach me. You can never reach me. You will be given. As long as you are happy on that path, you can be on that path. There is no force. That also Paramatma told us before. Those who are not ready to accept my path, we should not force them. We should not force them. Let them be there. Let them be satisfied completely, because the indriyas also, we cannot suppress them directly. Suddenly, we should not suppress them, because they will come back with much more force later on. So we should first understand the indriya and how it desires, what it desires, and how to pacify it. Sometimes it cannot be pacified at this point of time. Again, that also could be the result of the previous karmas that we have done in the previous lives. So we have to let it run for as long as it needs to be run. Only when it is ready, that is when we have to be waiting for that opportunity to see when our indriyas are in a position to be able to be controlled. That can only be done again with abhyasa. We cannot simply sit and wait. Oh, I'm waiting for my indriyas to come under control. They cannot come under control by themselves. We only have to do it through abhyasa, little by little, not suddenly, not overnight, with the slow abhyasa, by training our mind to understand the benefits of bringing the indriyas under control. Because without bringing the indriyas under control, we will undergo through all these ragadveshas and all kinds of things, and how they are affecting us, how they are affecting our life, our human relations, our everything. We need to understand them completely. That is what is knowing or understanding the Paramatma Tattvam. We have to understand this materialistic world and how our indriyas given to these materialistic temptations and all this. Once, only when we understand all this, it will be easy for us to understand, to control them with our manas and buddhi. And once we are able, when we are at that point, we have to still continue doing that abhyasa, and then we will be on Paramatma's path. Until then, we will be given, still we will be given whatever we ask for, depending on our past karmas, how much ever we want, or how much ever we are asking, that will be given. That is what Paramatma is saying in this shloka. So here, Partha ye mam yatha bhajanti tanaham tatha eva anugrihnami. I am giving everybody. I have no partiality. How much ever people ask, that much ever I am giving. But they don't know what to ask. They are asking all these simple things. I want a promotion. I want my daughter's wedding, I want this, I want that. That is what they are asking, and that is what they will be given. But ultimately, the goal should be to understand my tattva and only then they can come upon to me. Okay, mama vartma manushyaha sarvashaha anuvartante. So always they should be able to follow my margam. That is the ultimate goal. That is what the ultimate goal should be. Etat rahasyam jnatva buddhiman manushya samuhaha sarva prakarena mama margam anusritya chalati. So they have to understand this rahasyam, and then they should come on to my path. Only then they will be able to reach me. So madhvamatam moksha rupa phaladhanena jnaninaha Swargadi phaladhanena tadatitaran cha aham bhajami. Natu gunabhavena. Gunabhavena means the gunas, the three gunas, the rajogunam, tamogunam, and sattvagunam. Okay. Devatantaranam, all the other deities. Okay. Aradhana nimittena mat pujaiva kriyate. They are thinking that they are worshipping these other deities. But in those forms also, it is me who I am. Mameva. Okay, mat pujaiva kriyate. They are worshipping me only. They are thinking that they are worshipping so many other deities. But behind them, it is me only who is there. Tasmat sarva prakarena manushyaha mama vartma anuvartante. So, hence, knowing that whatever worshipping they are doing to these other deities, all those ultimately are being done to me only. Behind, I am behind all those deities. Whatever worship they are doing to me only. But they are thinking that they are doing to these other deities who will grant them what they ask for. We think that knowledge can be obtained by worshipping Saraswati, strength can be obtained by worshipping Hanuman, health can be obtained by worshipping Surya. Of course, they are the representatives of those individually. There is no doubt about it. But what we also have to remember is behind those Swarupas also, it is Paramatma only. So even when we are asking, say for example, we are asking for strength from Hanuman, we have to understand that there is Paramatma only in his form who is giving us that strength. And why should we be worshipping him for strength? To overcome our difficulties, so that we can be on our path on to the Paramatma, not to suppress the weak people, not to kill somebody, or not to do some something bad for the society. We should not ask Paramatma for strength to do such things. We should ask for strength so that we will be able to overcome the custom given to us because of our bad deeds in the past, so that we can be on the Sanmarga as soon as possible. If all our energy is drained with overcoming the difficulties given to us by our past karmas, then where is the time for us to put ourselves on the Sanmarga? There is no time. So we should ask God to give us the strength to overcome these difficulties, not for some materialistic purpose, but so that we can be on the Sanmarga. The sooner I get rid of my sins through these difficulties, and still, if I'm still able to stand strongly, then I will spend that strength on putting myself on the Sanmarga by doing good things. I will start doing, reform myself. Whatever small doshas are there in my thinking, in my behavior, I will overcome those with this strength. If that is what we ask, then we are already on the path to Paramatma. So that is what he wants us to understand. It is perfectly okay to look at these deities in so many forms. Why? We ourselves are playing so many roles. To our children, we are mother. To our siblings, we are sister or brother. Right? Our children can never look at us as a sister or brother. Our siblings can never look at us as their mother. They cannot even imagine. Our parents cannot even imagine us as their mother. Right? Why? Because we are having all these different roles that we are playing. Similarly, it is perfectly fine to look at Anjaneya Swami as the form that gives us strength, and Saraswati as the form that gives us knowledge. But what we should not forget is all these are forms of Paramatma himself. We should not look at them as individual deities who are disconnected from the Paramatma, but behind all these also is Paramatma only. And whatever we are seeking from these deities, separately should be for the well-being of the of others, for paras, not for our own selfish desires. Then even though we are praying to all these separately, it implies that we are still on the path of the Paramatma, to reach the Paramatma himself. So that is what is being told here. And here we have the sandhis, sattva sandhi, and then yan sandhi, vriddhi sandhi, savarna dirgha sandhi. And then manushyaha, manu, apatyani, pumamsaha. Okay, so manushyaha, this is a tadhitta. You all know the apatyam puman, the offspring of a particular, like Anjanayaha, Anjanayaha, apatyam puman, like that. This also is apatyani pumamsaha. Any questions in this shloka? Okay. Anantaram, Subbarao Mahodaya, patitum ichchati va?
Mahodaya, ma'am, I am not having book, Mahodaya.
Chinta mastu. Ravishankar Mahodaya?
आम् महोदय अस्मि
पठितुम्
नमस्ते
इच्छति?
महोदय
नमस्ते.
आम् नमस्ते इच्छामि महोदय काङ्क्षन्तः कर्माणां सिद्धिं यजन्त इह देवताः क्षिप्रं हि मानुषे लोके सिद्धिर्भवति कर्मजा अन्वयः काङ्क्षन्तः कर्मणां सिद्धिं यजन्त इह देवताः क्षिप्रं हि मानुषे लोके सिद्धिः भवति कर्मजा
पदपरिचयम्.
पदपरिचयम्
काङ्क्षन्तः.
काङ्क्षन्तः काङ्क्षत् शब्दः प्रथमपुरुष बहुवचन
काङ्क्षत् शत्रु
काङ्क्षत् शब्दः आम् महोदय काङ्क्षन्तः पठामि वा?
आम् आम् शृणोमि. पठतु महोदय. अनन्तरं कर्मणाम्.
कर्मणां कर्मन् शब्दः षष्ठी विभक्ति बहुवचन सिद्धिं सिद्धि द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं
स्त्रीलिङ्गम्
इकारान्त स्त्रीलिङ्गं द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं यजन्ते यज् धातु यजन्तः तकारान्तः यजन् यजन्ते यजन्तः
यज् धातु लट्लकार
यज् धातु
प्रथमपुरुष बहुवचनम् आत्मनेपदी.
आम् प्रथमपुरुष बहुवचनम् आत्मनेपदी. इह अव्यय देवताः देवता प्रथमपुरुष बहुवचन द्वितीया विभक्ति बहुवचन स्त्रीलिंग शब्दः
आकारान्त स्त्रीलिंग शब्दः
प्रथम द्वितीया विभक्ति बहुवचन क्षिप्र अकारान्तः
अव्ययम्
प्रथमपुरुष
क्षिप्रम् इति अव्ययम् इति अहं चिन्तयामि.
अव्यय अस्ति महोदय. आम् अव्यय अस्ति. हि अव्यय मानुषे मानुष इति सप्तमी विभक्ति एकवचनम् अकारान्त पुल्लिंग शब्दः लोके लोकं लोक अकारान्तः नपुंसकलिङ्गः सप्तमी विभक्ति एकवचनम् अकारान्तः पुल्लिङ्गः प्रथमा सप्तमी विभक्ति एकवचनं सिद्धिः इकारान्तः स्त्रीलिङ्गः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं भवति भूधातु प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं
प्रथमपुरुष एकवचन क्रियापदं
पुरुष एकवचनम् आम् क्षम्यतां प्रथमपुरुष एकवचनं कर्मजा 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 आकारान्तः स्त्रीलिङ्गः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनम्
एकवचनम् अत्र क्षिप्रम् अव्ययमपि अस्ति पुंलिङ्गशब्दमपि अस्ति महोदय अत्र अव्ययमेव स्वीकरणीयम्
आम् आम्
पदार्थः पठतु
आम् पदार्थः कर्मणां व्यापाराणां सिद्धिं फलप्राप्तिं काङ्क्षन्तः अभिलषन्तः इह अस्मिन् लोके देवताः देवान् यजन्ते पूजयन्ति मानुषे लोके मानवानां लोके हि यस्मात् कर्मजा कर्मसंभवा सिद्धिः फलप्राप्तिः क्षिप्रं शीघ्रं भवति जायते आकांक्षा भवति
अन्वयः सर्वम्
आम् अन्वयः कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षतः यः देवताः यजन्ते तेषाम् अध्याहतं तेषां हि मानुषे लोके कर्मजा सिद्धिः क्षिप्रं भवति आकांक्षा पद्धत्येन यजन्ते इति क्रियापदमस्ति के यजन्ते काङ्क्षन्तः यजन्ते कां काङ्क्षन्तः यजन्ते सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः यजन्ते केषां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः यजन्ते कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः यजन्ते कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः काः यजन्ते कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः देवताः यजन्ते कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः कुत्र देवताः यजन्ते कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः इह देवताः यजन्ते कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः इह देवताः यजन्ते तस्मात् तेषां किं भवति कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः इह देवताः यजन्ते तेषां हि भवति कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः इह देवताः यजन्ते तेषां हि का भवति कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः इह देवताः यजन्ते तेषां हि सिद्धिः भवति कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः इह देवताः यजन्ते तेषां हि कीदृशी सिद्धिं भवति कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः इह देवताः यजन्ते तेषां हि कर्मजा सिद्धिं भवति कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः इह देवताः यजन्ते तेषां हि कुत्र कर्मजा सिद्धिः भवति कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः इह देवताः यजन्ते तेषां हि लोके कर्मजा सिद्धिः भवति कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः इह देवताः यजन्ते तेषां हि कस्मिन् लोके कर्मजा सिद्धिः भवति कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः इह देवताः यजन्ते तेषां हि मानुषे लोके कर्मजा सिद्धिः भवति कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः इह देवताः यजन्ते तेषां हि मानुषे लोके कर्मजा सिद्धिः कथं भवति कर्मणां सिद्धिं काङ्क्षन्तः इह देवताः यजन्ते तेषां हि मानुषे लोके कर्मजा सिद्धिः क्षिप्रं भवति तात्पर्यमपि पठनीयं वा
पठतु महोदय
पठामि वा महोदय तात्पर्यं
पठतु महोदय
कर्मप्रधाने अस्मिन् लोके कर्मणां फलमिच्छन्तः मनुष्याः देवान् पूजयन्ति यतः कर्मणां सिद्धिः शीघ्रं भवति परन्तु आत्मसिद्धिः न भवति तदर्थं मामेव भज व्याकरणं
पठतु महोदय
यजन्त इह यजन्ते अधिकम् इह यान्तवादादेशसन्धिः यलोपः प्रकृतिभावः सिद्धिर्भवति सिद्धिः भवति विसर्गसन्धिः रेफादेशः समासः कर्मजा कर्मणः जाता कर्तरि डप् प्रत्ययः उपपदसमासश्च स्त्रीत्वे टाप् जा कृदन्तः काङ्क्षन्तः काङ्क्ष अधिकं शत्रु कर्तरि सिद्धिः सिद्ध तिन् प्रत्ययः भावे
अस्तु सो अत्र क्रियापदानि कानि एतस्मिन् श्लोके?
क्रियापदानि प्रथममस्ति यजन्ते, भवति अपरं क्रियापदमस्ति।
तो यजन्ते अत्र कर्तृपदं किम्?
काङ्क्षन्तः।
काङ्क्षन्तः means those who desire. So
Those who
काङ्क्षन्तः
desire.
जनाः, काङ्क्षन्तः जनाः इति अध्याहृतं स्वीकर्तुमपि शक्नोति, नो चेदपि सम्यक्। किन्तु just for clarity we can add मनुष्याः or जनाः, anything. Okay, naraha, anything. So those who desire, काङ्क्षन्तः जनाः देवताः यजन्ते. Okay, कुत्र? लोके, मानुषे लोके. Manushe loke devataha yajante. Same, whatever we discussed in the earlier shloka, actually it is given here in much detail. So all the people who desire, who have some kinds of desire, karmanam siddhim kangshantaha janaha. So what kind of kanksha they have? The who
karma kanksha.
Karma kanksha means the phala kanksha of the karmas they do. So those people who they will worship to the devatas. Manushe loke devataha yajati, which is fine, which is fine. So kshipram siddhihi api kshipram bhavati. Kshipram means shigram. So immediately they will see the result also. Immediately they will see the result also. So because of that only the desires will still grow, because today I did something, tomorrow itself I reaped the benefit. So then what will happen? I will again have okay, I will do that also. That also I will get the result. Right? It will be very encouraging. It will be very encouraging. Today you prepared very well and wrote an exam. You got distinction. It will encourage you to take up the next level and also prepare well.
Another exam. Yes.
Yeah. So this is all fine. This is all fine. And the result also we can see immediately. But we have to remember that the result, the phalakanksha should not be there to reach me. To reach the Paramatma, the phalakanksha should not be there. As long as there is phalakanksha, you will get what you desire by worshipping the devatas in this world. You will get whatever you desire. But that is not the final path to reach me. You have to understand that is what is being here. So here the tatparyam what is given? Karma pradhane asmin loke karmanam phalamichhantaha manushyaha devan pujayanti yataha karmanam siddhihi shigram bhavati. So why are they doing all these worships so much? Because the phalasiddhi immediately they are getting, which is very desirable by many people to see the phalakanksha coming. So parantu atma siddhihi na bhavati. But we have to realize that though we are able to see the result immediately by worshipping the gods here, we have to understand this will not give the Atma Siddhi. For the Atma Siddhi, Mameva Bhaja. That we have to understand. In the previous shloka discussion, we discussed this in detail. The same thing here, it is being explicitly stated in shloka. So here the first Kriyapadam Yajante, Kangshantaha will be the Kartrupadam for Yajante, Devataha will be the Karmapadam. Karmanam siddhim kangshantaha. Kangshantaha again it will act as a kartrupadam with yajante, but it is a kriyapadam to siddhim. Siddhim kangshantaha. The people who desire siddhi. So here siddhim will be the karmapadam to kangshantaha. Kasya siddhim karmanam siddhim. So karmanam will be shashti. Shashti, karmala yokta siddhi. So it will be shashti to siddhim. Shashti sambandha to siddhim. Okay, manushe loke. Loke will be adhikaranam, kaladhikaranam, or actually deshadhikaranam. And manushe will be visheshana to loke. Manushe loke means world, in this world where humans are living. Okay. Iha also will be visheshana to loke, means in this, means like this world. So that also is visheshana to loke. That is the first kriyapadam. The second is bhavati. Kim bhavati? or kaha bhavati siddhihi bhavati. So siddhihi will be kartrupadam. Siddhihi bhavati. Siddhihi will be kartrupadam to bhavati. Kshipram shigram bhavati. So kriya visheshana. Kshipram will
Kriya
be kriya
visheshana.
visheshana. So karmaja siddhihi bhavati. So karmaja will be again visheshana to siddhi.
Siddhihi.
With the karmasha defined here. Karmaja. Where is karmaja? Karma sambhava. Karmaja means karma sambhava. Means that which is through the karmas. Siddhi. Phala praptihi. So we can take it as that which is obtained through the karmas. Karmaja means born with the karmas. Means phala
Karma
kanksha.
sambhava.
Which is a siddhi only. What siddhi? Karmanam siddhi. This is not the siddhi that we are looking at. This is the siddhi of the karmas that we are performing. So karmaja siddhihi kshipram bhavati. Atah eva prajaha or janaha devatan pujayanti. Ihe loki.
Ishtakamyartha siddhi.
Yes, correct. So they are tied up in this vicious cycle. They are performing some pujas. They are getting the benefit out of it.
The result.
So they are again performing for something else. So they are stuck up in this cycle
Caught up in this. Yes.
without realizing that this will not give us the final siddhi that we are desiring. For that we have to take the Paramatma Margam only.
Yes.
Okay. So here we have in the Sandhi Yajanta Iha, this is Yanta Vanta Desha. Siddhir Bhavati is Visarga Refa. Karmaja Karmanaha Jata. Okay, it is coming through the karma.
Upapada samasa.
And then Stritve Tap. So because this is a Strilinga Padam, the Akaranta Pratyayam will be. And Kamantaha is the Shatranta. Siddhihi is Ikaranta Strilinga. Okay. Astu. धन्यवादः महोदय.
धन्यवादः.
अनन्तरं मूर्ति महोदय पठितुम् इच्छति वा? मूर्ति महोदय म्यूट् मध्ये अस्ति भवान्. ओके, भावना भगिनी. Ravishankar Mahodaya, Dvitiyam. There are two Ravishankar Mahodayas. Both are, I think, both in the same.
No, both are mine only, madam.
Okay. So another Mahodaya.
Patami va?
No. Ekvaram. Imbastikar Mahodaya.
Lakshmi Narayan Bastikar.
Lakshmi Narayan.
LM Bastikar.
Patitum ichchati va Mahodaya?
Patami.
Patat.
चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्म विभागशः तस्य कर्तारमपि मां विद्यकर्तारमव्ययम्. पदार्थः गुणकर्म
प्रथमं पदविभागं वदतु.
पदविभागम् एकनिमिषम्. चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्म विभागशः तस्य कर्तारम् अपि मां विद्धि अकर्तारम् अव्ययम्.
अस्तु, इदानीं
पदपरिचयं. चातुर्वर्ण्यं नपुंसकलिंग प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन.
द्वितीया विभक्ति प्रथमा विभक्ति
मया by me अस्मत् शब्द सर्वनाम पुल्लिंग प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन. तृतीया विभक्ति
तृतीया विभक्ति
तृतीया विभक्ति एकवचन देन् सृष्टं सृष्ट नपुंसक नपुंसकलिंग प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन
सृज धातोः क्त प्रत्यय
सृजयुक्त प्रत्यय देन् गुणकर्म विभागशः अव्ययम्
अव्ययम्
गुणश्च कर्मश्च गुणकर्मणि तयोः विभागः तस्य षष्ठी विभक्ति एक तत् सर्वनाम नपुंसकलिंग संबंध षष्ठी विभक्ति एकवचन कर्तारं कर्तृ प्रथमा विभक्ति द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचन अपि अव्ययम् माम् अस्मत् शब्द सर्वनाम पुल्लिंग तृतीया विभक्ति एकवचन
पुंलिंगं नास्ति त्रिलिंगकं खलु
माम् विद्धि विद्धातु परस्मैपदे लोट कर्तरि मध्यम पुरुष एकवचन अकर्तारम् अकर्तृ पुल्लिंग द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचन अव्ययम् अव्यय पुल्लिंग द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचन पदार्थः गुणकर्म विभागशः गुणानां कर्मणां च भेदेन मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं चत्वारः वर्णाः सृष्टम् उत्पादिताः तस्य चातुर्वर्ण्य विभागस्य कर्तारं सृष्टारम् अकर्तारम् अपि असृष्टारम् अपि अव्ययम् अविनाशिनं मां विद्धि मां जानीहि आकांक्षा सृष्टम्
अन्वयः अपि पठतु
अन्वय गुणकर्म विभागशः मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं तस्य कर्तारम् अपि अकर्तारम् अव्ययं मां विद्धि सृष्टि च विद्धि च गौ व्यापकम् सृष्टं किं सृष्टं चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं केन चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं कथं मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं गुणकर्म विभागशः मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं गुणकर्म विभागशः मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं तेन किं गुणकर्म विभागशः मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं तेन विद्धि गुणकर्म विभागशः मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं कं विद्धि गुणकर्म विभागशः मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं मां विद्धि गुणकर्म विभागशः मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं कीदृशं मां विद्धि गुणकर्म विभागशः मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं अव्ययं मां विद्धि गुणकर्म विभागशः मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं पुनश्च कीदृशम् अव्ययं मां विद्धि गुणकर्म विभागशः मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं अकर्तारम् अव्ययं मां विद्धि गुणकर्म विभागशः मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं पुनश्च कीदृशम् अपि अकर्तारम् अव्ययं मां विद्धि गुणकर्म विभागशः मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं कर्तारमपि अकर्तारम् अव्ययं मां विद्धि गुणकर्म विभागशः मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं कस्य कर्तारमपि अकर्तारम् अव्ययं मां विद्धि गुणकर्म विभागशः मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं तस्य कर्तारमपि अकर्तारम् अव्ययं मां विद्धि तात्पर्यं गुणानां कर्मणां च विभेदानुसारेण ब्राह्मण क्षत्रिय वैश्य शूद्राः इति चत्वारः वर्णाः मया कृताः तस्य चातुर्वर्ण विभागस्य यद्यपि अहं कर्ता तथापि अहम् अकर्ता अनश्वरः च अस्मि तदेतत् जानीहि व्याकरणं संधि विध्यकर्तारं विद्धि प्लस अकर्तारं यण् संधि समासः गुणकर्म विभागशः गुणाः च कर्मणि च गुणकर्मणि द्वन्द्व गुणकर्मणां विभागः तेन षष्ठी तत्पुरुष अकर्तारं न कर्ता तं नहि तत्पुरुष अव्ययं न विद्यते न विद्यते व्ययः यस्य तं नै बहुव्रीहि कृदन्त सृष्टं सृज धातु त कर्मणि कर्तारं कृ धातु सृज कर्तरि तद्धितान्त चातुर्वर्ण्यं चतुर्वर्ण प्लस शञ् स्वार्थे गुणकर्म विभागशः गुणकर्म विभाग प्लस शस् तृतीया विभक्त्यन्तात् स्वार्थे गुणकर्म विभागेन इत्यर्थः।
अत्र क्रियापदानि कानि?
क्रियापदानि एकत्तु सृष्टं द्वितीय विद्धि।
सृष्टम्। अत्र कर्तृपदं किम्?
कर्तृपदं चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टम्।
चातुर्वर्ण्यं सृष्टं केन सृष्टं?
मया सृष्टं।
मया कर्तृपदं
मया इति कर्तृपदं मया चातुर्वर्ण्यं
चातुर्वर्ण्यं कर्मपदं।
कर्मपदं
कथं सृष्टं? गुणकर्म विभागशः।
गुणकर्म विभागशः।
अतः गुणकर्म विभागशः इति क्रियाविशेषणं भवति। How is it created? Based on the gunakarma vibhagashah. So that will be the kriya visheshanam. Anantaram viddhi iti dvitiyam kriyapadam. Atra kartrupadam kim? Kartrupadam na dattam. Adhyahritam. Tvam.
Kam viddhi, mam viddhi.
Tvam mam viddhi. Tvam will be the adhyahritam kartrupadam. Mam will be the karmapadam. कीदृशं मां? कर्तारं मां।
अव्ययं मां विद्धि।
कर्तारं मां विद्धि। कर्तारं मां पुनः कथं विद्धि? कर्तारम् अव्ययं च इति विद्धि। Means here what is he saying? So by me this chaturvarnyam is created. Chaturvarnyam is created by me based on the gunakarma vibhaga.
Gunakarma vibhaga.
So what does gunakarma vibhaga? Gunas are the three gunas, the sattvika guna, rajo guna and tamo guna. So based on that, because this srishti is made by the Paramatma to keep it going. Some people, the duties of the people have been divided into three groups. So satvikam, rajogunam and tamogunam. So the sattvika guna, for some people, now we have to remember that everything in this prakriti has all the three gunas. There is no only one guna. There is in one person, we cannot say that. Everybody has all the three gunas. But the sattvika guna called devata.
Certain percentage.
Yes. So whoever has more percentage of a particular guna, we refer to that as that. So here the sattvika gunas are given to those individual like demigods kind of people like the rishis and all, because their purpose is to do things which are beneficial for the peace.
Universe.
Yes. And then the rajogunam is given to certain people like the kshatriyas, where they need to wherever the protection is needed, they come into picture, and for that they need that rajogunam. And then the service for the people who provide the service, like the agriculturists and the vanijya and all such service for such services, the tamoguna is needed more. So tamoguna. So based on the karmas that they need to perform, the gunas that they need, based on only these two factors, the vibhaga is done. The vibhaga is done based on this by me. Okay. And that you need to know. It appears that I am the karta here. Tasya kartaram mam akartaram avyayam iti tvam viddhi. You have to know that though I appear, now you are earlier what was said, we understood that Paramatma's janmas are different. Why? Because his janmas are not based on the karmas like ours. Our janmas are based on the karmas that we have done in the past. So, and it has also been told that Paramatma's janmas are not based on the karmas. But what do you call this? He's creating the world, he's creating the people, all these are also karmas. So why are you saying you do not have any karmas? So for that, what Paramatma says is, though it appears like I am the karta of this creation, which I am, but still I am not the karta. Like, means now when we do a karma with a phalakanksha, then we become the karta of that kriya, of that karma. So if I do a particular yaga for some benefit, okay, to obtain, say for example, then I have the phalakanksha and I am doing this yaga. So I will be the karta of this yaga. But Paramatma is doing this karta of creating this world, not for his benefit. He has no benefit at all out of all this. So that is why though he is the karta, he is not the karta in that sense, because he is not expecting any phalakanksha. He does not have any phalakanksha. Whatever he does is only for our benefit only. So because he does not have any involvement or phalakanksha or any kind of emotion attached to these kartas, he is. So by stating this, what is he indirectly giving us the message is, if we also have to do the kartas, okay, we need not think I am doing this karma, so I will be attached, so how can I break this rebirth cycle, because I am doing this karma today, so how can I detach that? We have to understand like how the Paramatma is doing his karmas, and he is still not the karta of that karma, only because he does not have any phalakanksha. He is only doing it for the benefit of the mankind. So similarly, we also, if we do our karmas without any phalakanksha, then we also will not be the kartas of those actions. So that is how we can detach ourselves from the karmas that we do. So that is what this shloka says. So in the second part, vidhi is the kriya padam. Mam vidhi. Mam will be the karma padam. Kartaram will be the visheshana to mam. And this akartaram will be visheshana to avyayam, or you can take either way. You can put avyayam as visheshana to akartaram, or akartaram to visheshana to avyayam. And then that will be the karma samanadhikaranam or vidheya visheshana to mam. Mam akartaram iti vidhi. You understand that I am the akartaram and avyayam. Avyayam is avinashinam. Yeah, without any destruction. So I am something that cannot be destructed, and I am somebody who is not the karta. Though I appear to be like the karta, kartaram mam, though I appear like though I am doing this, I am still not the actual karta. Why? Because I have no phalakanksha. And I am because you all come and go. Though the Atma is permanent, you are taking these janmas, and in the next janma you are forgetting what you are in the previous janma. But whereas me, I remember everything. I remember my purva janmas, your purva janmas, everything. So that is why avyayam. He is considering himself as avyayam because he is indestructible. He cannot. He remembers everything from the time when the Srishti is born. But we do not. Though we are taking, the Atma is still there without death, without Nashanam. Our Atma also is avyayam only, is indestructible only. But why are we not able to remember what Janma we took in the previous life? It is because we are still attached to the karmas that we do. We still have not reached that point. So we are not considered as that Divyam Janma. Our Janma is not considered as Divyam Janma. Whereas Paramatma's Janma is Divyam, and though he is the Karta, he still is not the Karta of these actions. So these actions do not touch him. They do not have any effect on him. Why? Because he is doing them completely detached, only for the purpose of the mankind, not for his own benefit. Whereas we all are doing our karmas for our benefit. So that you have to understand. Once we understand that, then it will become easy for us to do the karmas without attachment. Because like it has been said earlier, only when we see people doing that, we can understand and relate to ourselves. And then it will become easy for us to put the same thing into practice. Now we have understood Paramatma. He said in his own words, I have created all this. but still I am, these
not
will not touch me. Why? Because I have no phalakanksha. Nothing of this will benefit me. So similarly, you also, with the same attitude, if you do your karmas without any attachment, only for the benefit of others, or by offering these karma phala to me, then you will also be able to get rid of this cycle, this rebirth cycle, and you will attain the siddhi. So that is what is being said in this shloka.
next
And
shloka also same explaining.
that shloka we'll see in the next class.
Next class.
Mhoday, shloka number and
Mhoday,
The one that we completed,
yatra
13th shloka, Mahodaya. We completed 13th
13th.
shloka right now. In the fourth adhyaya.
Fourth adhyayam, 4వ అధ్యాయం 13 శ్లోకం.
Correct. Yes, Mahodaya, somebody else was asking something.
Mhoday, yatra त्रीणि गुणानि सन्ति तत्र वर्ण्याः कथं भवितुमर्हन्ति, केन आधारैः?
So here again, here in the Tatparyam, Gunanam Karmanam cha Vibhedanusarena Brahmana Kshatriya Vaishya Shudraha iti Chatvaraha Varnaha Maya Kritaha. Tasya Chaturvarnya Vibhagasya Yadyapi Aham Karta. Okay. So here Brahmanaha will have more of the Sattva Guna, we can say. Okay. Kshatriya and Vaishyas we can take as maybe more of Rajoguna. Or Kshatriya will have the Rajoguna and Vaishya and Shudraha will have more of the Tamoguna. But here Guna Vibhaga is 3 only, but Karma Vibhaga is 4. Within the karma, within the karmas, though the Tamoguna is there in Vaishyas and Shudras, the kind of work that these two do, based on the works that they do, again Vaishya and Shudra Vibhaga is done. So though the gunas are only...
I did not understand.
Though the gunas
that was where my confusion was. When the gunas are 3 only, how come 4 varnas have come?
That is what I'm saying. Based on the karmas, 4 divisions are done, but this 3 gunas span over the 4 karmas.
Okay.
You can look at it as Vaishyas have a little bit of Rajoguna and Tamoguna.
Okay.
But the kind of work that Vaishyas do is a little different from Shudras. Vaishyas do only business minded.
Yes.
Whereas the Shudras do only service. They don't expect, it is not like a business that they are doing.
Yes.
It is only service. So though the guna there is still the same, the kind of work, based on the kind of work that they are doing, they are again categorized into 2. Divided into 2. Okay.
Avagatam. Dhanyavadah.
Dhanyavadah. So any other questions? So here we have in the samasa gunakarma vibhagashaha gunaha cha karmani cha gunakarmani dvandva gunakarmanam vibhagaha. So this is Shashti Tatpurusha and the word itself is in Tritiya Vibhakti. Gunakarmanam vibhagaha tena. Gunakarma vibhagena. So akartaram na karta tam nai Tatpurusha. So here Uttarapada pradhanyata asti ataha Tatpurusha samasa. Avyayam na vidyate vyayaha yasya tam nai bahuvrihi. So avyayam is he who cannot be, or there is no destruction in him. In that sense we can take by bahuvrihi. And then srashtam is ktha pratyayam, kartaram is trich pratyayam. Karta is the word basically. In Dvitiya Vibhakti it becomes kartaram. Chaturvarnyam, chaturvarna and swarthe it is used. Means it is only representing the meaning of that word. It is not representing any karta or karma. Gunakarma vibhagashaha. Again, the same. So, shas is the pratyaya added here. Trutiya vibhaktiyantat swarthe. Gunakarma vibhagena ityartaha. So here that shas pratyaya is used to indicate the Trutiya vibhakti anta meaning. In that sense it is used. Though the word itself is gunakarma vibhagashaha, it is used in the sense of Tritiya Vibhakti, like gunakarma vibhagena. In that sense, the shas pratyaya is used. Okay. Astu. Alivelu Bagini.
भगिनि सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। धन्यवाद भगिनी, नमस्कारः। सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः, धन्यवादः।